I just think Arsenal's need for centre forward is so obvious. I mean, Kai Havertz has done a decent job scoring the goals, but they can't just keep relying on him. It's too big a burden for him to carry. And the point I was trying to make was that the one priority that these clubs have, and for me, he's Arsenal's absolute priority, because they've got goal scorers in the team, but they haven't got an out-and-out goal scorer. And I think that that's why they're 9 points off the top. I think they've just taken it too far now with the forwards they have. That Saka and Martinelli and Havertz will score goals, but not enough. Why am I not putting him down for United? Because I think United have got a lot of issues to address, and I think what they need to address primarily is...
There we go. Let's take you through Zubimendi, very popular. Liverpool and City need him in midfield to replace Gravenberch. Chelsea, Joshua Kimmich. Arsenal, Gyökeres to play as the number 9. Spurs, Angel Gomez. And for Manchester United, Carlos Baleba. Where should we... Well, we may as well start with Zubimendi, Mark, because he's doing what he's doing.
Well, yeah, he's obviously going to go to Man City on that basis, that he's saved Liverpool about £50 million, and Liverpool aren't going to go for him. But no, Arne Slot was really big on Zubimendi in the window, and he made it clear that if he didn't get him, he didn't want anybody in midfield, so they went ahead without him. But I think Liverpool do lack that little bit extra in midfield. I think, obviously, with half a season to go, they're pushing on all 4 fronts. They need more strength. And I think it'll be hard to get him out of Sociedad. We know, players who play for teams in the Basque Country, they tend to stay there because it's favourable in their, tax-wise in many ways, because they don't want to lose homegrown players. So it'll be very, very difficult to get him out of there. But I think if he was going to go in January, I think Liverpool would have the edge over Man City, because, who's going to sign for City right now? City, obviously 4 times champions, but we don't know what's going to happen to Man City in the next 6 months. So if Zubimendi is available, and I don't know if he is, then Liverpool, for me, would be the favourites to get him.
Would you push that signing hard, Stevie? Is that Liverpool's priority?
I think maybe a centre forward would be...
Really?
Yeah, but because of what Gravenberch's doing, it's always has been a little disappointing, to be honest. Curtis Jones seems to have stepped up recently. Question is, can he continue that? But yeah, I think I'd like to see possibly another centre forward.
Why is Gyökeres for Arsenal and not for Manchester United as well, Mark?
I just think Arsenal's need for centre forward is so obvious. I mean, Kai Havertz has done a decent job scoring the goals, but they can't just keep relying on him. It's too big a burden for him to carry. And the point I was trying to make was that the one priority that these clubs have, and for me, he's Arsenal's absolute priority, because they've got goal scorers in the team, but they haven't got an out-and-out goal scorer. And I think that that's why they're 9 points off the top. I think they've just taken it too far now with the forwards they have. That Saka and Martinelli and Havertz will score goals, but not enough. Why am I not putting him down for United? Because I think United have got a lot of issues to address, and I think what they need to address primarily is somebody in midfield who's got the energy to go box to box. Because Amorim likes one of his midfielders to cover that ground, and United have got talent with Kobbie Mainoo and they've just signed Ugarte, but as good as they both are, neither of them are particularly explosive or have the pace to get from box to box. I think we can rule out Casemiro, so I think Balaba at Brighton is a better option. But obviously, if United could sign Gyökeres, they'd go for him. But that right now isn't there. Listen, it's an area they need to address, but it's not the number 1 priority, I don't think, in the window.
Meanwhile, hot English prospect, of course, Angel Gomez. Mark, you've linked him to Spurs.
I just think that Tottenham needs somebody in midfield who can make the game tick over a bit better. I'm not impressed by Tottenham's midfield this season. I think Maddison's had a drop off, and I think Angel Gomez is out of contract at the end of the season at Lille, so he could be got relatively cheaply. He's got an England career to progress now, because obviously he's been in the last few squads. So I think he will bring something to Tottenham. They've got quality up front with Son, and they need to get Richarlison fit. But obviously Solanke's coming in the summer, so they're not going to sign another 4. But I just think Angel Gomez would bring something to Tottenham.
And last but not least, Carlos Baleba, of course, currently at Brighton. You've got him to go to Manchester United.
Well, I got him to go there. Whether that would happen or not, but I think that's the sort of player they need. I think the sort of player that would make them better. It would give them youth. It would give them quality midfield, a bit of energy, which again, that midfield area is not the strongest. I do think they need to look at that, because everyone's focusing on the 3 at the back under Amorim, but it's the 2 midfielders that he has at Sporting that have made all the difference as well. So I think he just needs more energy and more more youthful energy in that midfield.
Don, would you like to say anything about any of those prospective transfers?
No, I concur, Waggy.
There we go. Don, you can go if you like, mate. You don't have to stay. It's all right. It's all right.
I'm struggling.
Yeah, God, don't cry. Just leave. It's fine. Thank you very much, Don. Take care of yourself. Get better soon. We should all try that. Right. Paul Pogba. What's going to happen to Paul Pogba, Mark?
Well, listen, I mean, it sounds... He's one of those players that it will either frighten teams off because of his previous at Man United and at Juventus, because he can be hard to pin down in terms of, you know, having the discipline to play the team. But he's a very good player, and he's ready to play in March, I think it is. So I think that there could be a big club in Europe ready to take a chance on him. I'm not sure a Premier League team will do it. Certainly one would fancy, but I do think that Pogba won't be short of teams that will want to take him on, because he's still a player on his day who's got quality to unlock opposition defences. So I'm sure there'll be a few teams looking to sign Paul Pogba, especially on a free.
Meanwhile, I feel there is an international window in which Christian Pulisic isn't linked to a move back to the Premier League. That box has been ticked once again over the last couple of days, Mark. Obviously, arguably one of Milan's best players at the moment, started the season really well after a great campaign last year as well. I suppose the question around him, who would be interested in him, and is the fact that he didn't quite cut it at Chelsea, how much of a difference does that make?
There's been a bit of speculation in Italy linking him with Liverpool, Man United and West Ham, but I read that as maybe the Pulisic camp just testing the water, trying to get maybe a new deal out of Milan, or to kind of reward his performances, because he's in a good place in Milan. He's found a club that makes him feel important, he's performing well. And I think, first of all, he's got a difficult time to look back in the Premier League with Chelsea. It wasn't great. He had his good moments. But again, the likes of Liverpool, Man United have got other priorities, and I don't think they'd look at Christian Pulisic as somebody that would be the solution to their problems. West Ham, I don't think he'd go anywhere near West Ham right now, because why swap a Champions League campaign with Milan for a relegation battle with West Ham? So that strikes me as a bit of, maybe just testing the water to try and get Milan to throw a bit more money at him in a longer contract.
Can he make that step? Italian people are going to get angry, but can he make that step up from Milan to a team like Liverpool?
He can. I just don't know if the time is right for Pulisic. And I agree with Mark here. I think he's been absolutely outstanding for AC Milan, no question. But kind of given his relative struggles, and I know he had his moments for Chelsea, but he's bounced around from Germany into the Premier League, and now all of a sudden, at age 26, he's playing his best football for a storied club like AC Milan. For me, I don't see why you move, just for the sake of it. I at least see another season out in Syria.
What are you searching, Stephen?
No, was he? Yeah.
I thought it might be something that was insightful to this discussion.
No, not at all.
No?
No?
Okay, to Shaka, were you listening to Shaka's points? You're busy on your phone.
Oh, was Shaka talking about it?
Yes. What do you think, Stephen?
Of course I was listening.
Making that step up.
I think it is a bit 50-50.
Oh, really?